because once your estrogen becomes over, you have the risk of getting cancers. So you have to be extremely careful dealing with these things. Now I am coming to what I wanted to talk about today: vaginal dryness. Now you can see the cervix of a woman in there, and this is a secretion from the cervix. This is not white. This is what happens when you are aroused. And then your cervix will secrete this, and this secretion actually makes your vagina slippery or wet, so penetration becomes easy, so you don't feel pain. But when you have vaginal dryness, the lining of this mucus, it becomes, this is an alkaline. Actually, what you are seeing there is an alkaline that will allow the sperm to survive and to be able to travel all the way from the vagina into the fallopian tubes and into the ovaries, so fertilization can take place. So this is a normal vaginal secretion. If it is whitish a little, it is no problem at all. But the thing is, vaginal dryness causes these tissues of the vagina to give you lesser lubrication. And once they give you, and these things happen when you're heading towards your menopause, or you're having premenopausal issues, or probably you just gave birth. And once the lining becomes thin, it causes pain because the vagina becomes dry. And when you are having sexual intercourse with your husband, I will not say boyfriend, husband, and along the line you see yourself becoming dry and you start feeling the burning sensation, it means your vaginal wall linings have become thin and the vaginal mucus is not secreting well, and you need that product, or you need that food, or you need that thing that will help your vaginal walls wet well. And I'm saying that normally these are secreted from the cervix, and that is what you're saying. You are seeing the cervix under a spatula with the secretion there. You're seeing all the lubrication fine, and then wets the vagina all right. But once the place becomes dry, when the lining is bad, you will not have this secretion happening. So I'm saying that a small amount of white discharge is healthy. It's a healthy sign of a normal lubrication. So if you're seeing any whitish discharge, it doesn't necessarily mean that so long as you're having a whitish discharge, you have candidiasis. Because the normal mucus that comes out when the cervix secretes this is either a little whitish or off whitish, and it doesn't stink. There's no scent. It's not. Hasn't got any smell, and it is not itchy. Yes, so if you're having this discharge, it's a normal discharge that is coming from the cervix. And I hope you are learning today. We are looking at vaginal dryness as well. We are saying that symptoms. Once you have vaginal dryness, you have sore. You feel sore in the vagina. You feel itchy, or your vagina will itch, and then when you are there, you feel like you feel tingling, some tingling stuff under you. It means that you have an infection, or your vagina is dry. You also feel burning in the vagina, as if there's some heat inside you. You also have painful intercourse. When you're having sex, you feel a lot of pain, and then sometimes after sex you feel this light bleeding, and then you also have some sort of a mild discharge that is not really normal with you. You know yourself very well. And then also you have low libido, and then your vagina also goes numb. You don't feel stuff too much. You don't really enjoy yourself when you're having sex. It becomes numb. You have to check that. And then also you have inflammations, that is pain, and then also you have infections in the vagina, and then you would also have urinary tract infections that you would treat. They will go, they will come. You will treat, they will go, they will come. This means that as the urinary tract infections are reoccurring, it simply means you have vaginal dryness, and you need to check it. Now, what are some of the causes of vaginal dryness? This is really important. You need to take a good note at what I am going to talk about here. Now, if you pick this one, Normal pelvic floor. You can see my mouse pointer moving there. Normal pelvic floor. Now look at the violet line. Look at the violet line. You see how straight it is?
Yeah.
And then look at this is the urinary bladder. Where the red pointer is. That's the urinary bladder. This is the uterus. And this is the anal canal. And this is the pelvic floor muscle. And this is the pubic bone. And this is the entrance of the vagina. And this is where the urine passes. Now look at the size of the urine, the urinary, the urethra. Look at the size of it. Look at the size of the vaginal canal. Look at the size of the anal canal in this picture. I'm sure you can see it.
Yes.
Now you see how small they are? It is simply because the pelvic floor muscles are strong. Now here you have a weak pelvic floor muscle. With a weak pelvic floor muscle, you see how big the urethra is. The urethra has become big here. You see the vaginal opening has also become big here. And then the anal canal, there's a prolapse. You see here it is folded properly, but here it is hanging. So once the pelvic floor muscle hangs this way, now look at how the uterus is positioned. You see, now there's a prolapse of the uterus here. Now, once you have a prolapse of the uterus, the woman, you become fat. When your pelvic floor muscles are weak, your face will become fluffy, to become fat. When you shake your face like that, you see the skin will be jumping. It also means the vaginal muscle is also weak. When you work on the pelvic floor muscles, your face will also become tight. Trust me. No jokes with this one. I am not joking. When you work on it, when you work on the pelvic floor, the prolapse will fix. When you work on the pelvic floor, the vagina will become tighter, it will become stronger. You will see that you will not have urinary incontinence. Urinary incontinence is a situation where a woman cannot hold on to urine for long. Anytime the urine just comes, if she doesn't take care, she'll weary on herself. It also means that the bladder is sitting on a part of the vagina and she can't control urination. It simply means the pelvic floor muscles are weak. And once the pelvic floor muscles are weak, you will put on weight. Your stomach will become big. You can't control it. When you have a prolapse of the uterus, when the uterus sits itself or sinks into the vaginal canal, you're going to have your stomach bloating, becoming fat. And then your anal canal will also bloat. So you can see in the diagram there that the person there has a very big anal canal. Yes. Yeah. No jokes. So I'm saying here that not using the vaginal muscle, if you don't use the vaginal muscle, which are the PC muscles, if you don't use the probococcygeal muscles, if you don't use the probococcygeal muscles, which are the PC muscles, if you don't use them, you will have a loose vagina, you would have a dry vagina. Eventually, you will have painful sex, leading to less pleasure when you have sexual intercourse with your husband. So there's the need to train the vagina. There's the need to have products that would help the PC muscle set itself, settle itself, become firmer, and not just relax. And I tell you, if you leave it, if you tell me I will not use anything, I will not insert any good thing there, I will not insert anything there, leave it. And when you leave it, you will grow fat, you will bloat, you will mess up your private or queen's palace, and then you will wait to get married and you will not enjoy sex. Your husband will cheat on you. This is no joke. Don't go and have sex when you are not married. That is not what I'm saying, but I'm saying when you're not married, use products that would help the pelvic floor muscle maintain itself, and then also do pelvic floor exercises. If you don't know how to do it, 0244 66 10 11, we can talk about it. We can show you how to do it. And it is not free. Let me tell you that. Oh yeah, some people think that you talk about these things and you should just give them whatever it is for free. No, it's a service. You have to pay for it. Good. And then also, if you refrain yourself from sexual arousement for a prolonged time, your body will program itself. It will program itself not to be aroused.
Yeah.
So those people who are around telling people, don't touch your hair, don't touch your hair, you are killing people, you are destroying people. Stop it. I have my own breast. You're telling me not to touch it. Why? I'm being passionate about this one, yes. I should know what makes me feel good.
Yeah.
So when somebody is touching me and is not touching me well, I can teach the person. Don't call it masturbation. Call it whatever you want. But you should know what is good for you. You should know what you like. It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. You should know what you like before somebody can touch you for you to even enjoy it. And somebody will say you become addicted to it. That is a weakness in the mind. Now, hormonal imbalances and low estrogen levels can also cause women to have these problems that I am talking about. Vaginal dryness and all those things. Low hormonal levels can also cause that. Now check this picture out. You can see there are weak pelvic floor muscles, strong pelvic floor muscles. And you can see urine here coming out. And you can see how big the urinary bladder has become. And then the urethra is opened. So if you have a weak pelvic floor muscle, you experience urinary incontinence. You will wee-wee on yourself. This is not a joke. Maybe nobody will tell you, but Mr. Smooth will tell you on the adults class. You need products that will save and protect you from these things. And then you also need to exercise the vagina to stop these things from happening to you. And if you are experiencing these things and you are sitting down, you will get into your menopausal age. You will suffer more. Your husband will cheat and cheat. You will complain. Go to pray for me. Go to pray for me. Go to pray for me. The pastor will chop your money. Meanwhile, all you have to do is just exercise that PC muscle. You don't need prayers for that. You don't need prayers to exercise the PC muscle. You don't need prayers to exercise it. And this is something that you should know. Alright, so when you are into menopause, menopause simply means when you stop producing when you stop ovulating and your estrogen levels start dropping. But I can tell you, as a woman, you can enter menopause and still have balanced hormones if you exercise your PC muscle. If you exercise your PC muscle, you will get into your menopausal age, cross it without having any problem. All you need to do, exercise the vagina and continuously keep yourself active. Keep the vagina and the vaginal muscle and the anal muscle and the urinary bladder active. Keep the muscle active. It is like somebody who wants to be a good footballer. You play on the pitch. You exercise on the pitch. If you want to keep yourself going, if you exercise as a woman, if you exercise well, your estrogen levels rise. If you over-exercise, you get more testosterone. It will affect you. So you don't have to do too many vigorous exercises. But some exercises are enough to just bring your estrogen levels up. The same way for men, you need to exercise enough to bring your testosterone levels up. If you over-exercise, your testosterone will be converted into estrogen in your stress hormones. So normally, I say that when you are 40 years, you don't even have to jog. Normal.
Really?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. It's too much stress for a 40-year-old man. Normal brisk walking is good. Basic weightlifting is good. Push-ups, good. But stressing yourself and pumping, overstressing yourself, all the stress will convert into estrogen. I tell you,
there was nothing like too much exercise.
I'm telling you, you can, if you become too tired exercising and you feel stressed, for a man, all the stress will convert into female hormones. I'm telling you, all your cortisol level, all your high cortisol will convert into estrogen. And if you think I'm lying, find it out. Go and research it. Me, I don't come and talk. Nah, me, I don't talk again. I'm still a student though. I'm still learning. You get that? So you need to understand some of these things. You need to understand some of these things. Okay? Everybody needs to understand some of these things. So it is important that you understand that as you age, changes will come. And while the changes are coming, you need to work on yourself to overcome those changes. Now, this is something that you should watch. When your estrogen levels are high, look look at how the vaginal muscles are. When your estrogen levels are high, look at how the vaginal muscles are. And then when estrogen levels are low, just look at how you have that imbalance there. It becomes a real problem. You see that when your estrogen levels are low, the layers in the vagina also become thin.
Yeah.
They become very, very thin. But when your estrogen levels are high, the layers are thick. And you can be a woman 50 years, 60 years, 70 years. Once your estrogen levels are high, you have it there. It's intact. So I will just look at one last thing, and then we'll look at what are some of the causes of this vaginal dryness. And then we'll activate the phone lines so that we'll become interactive with you and be able to listen to your experiences and what you have to say about what we are talking about. So breastfeeding is one of the things that brings our estrogen levels down. Breastfeeding brings our estrogen levels down. And then douching also brings our estrogen levels down.
Papa, I'm not sure your mom and I'm Papa.
Oh yeah, some. And the douche, most people either in the anus or in the vagina and all those things.
In the vagina?
Yes, it is serious. It is serious.
Okay.
It is serious. And then also, you can also have some of these rashes. The picture you're seeing there is a sign of vaginal dryness. And then if somebody you go and sleep with a woman with such, a problem, this is what you also get. Mr. Adult class, we are not joking. We are telling you what it is you need to know.
Yeah.
So it's important that you take care that you don't use douches and irritants. Some tampons can give you troubles, right? Some perfumes can give you trouble. Some douches can give you problems. Some underwear can give you problems. Some shampoos, some conditioners, some sexual lubricants can give you problems. So you have to check that what you are putting there doesn't contain chemicals. That is why we are saying don't insert anything there. Don't insert stuff that have chemicals in them. But if they don't have chemicals, you don't have a problem. I already talked about breastfeeding and childbirth leading to vaginal dryness. And then low or poor foreplay skills, less time spent on foreplay can also cause vaginal dryness.
Yeah.
Yes, and then also vaginal burning as a result of inflammations, infections, and all these things, non-arousal, can also cause vaginal dryness, overstretched vagina, and all those things due to vaginal trash. I showed you vaginal trash up there can also lead to pain and discomfort in the vagina. This is the adults class. It's on GNTV every Wednesday from 10 p.m. to 11:30. I'm sure you are wondering what is happening, what am I learning, what am I seeing? Yes, it is adults class. We do this every Wednesday night on GNTV from 10 o'clock to 11:30 p.m. And then there's a repeat on Saturdays at 10 p.m. to 11. And then when you go to GNTV Ghana networks, you can have what we're watching there live on Facebook. And then adult class also has a page called Adult Class on Facebook. I have created a YouTube channel, Papa Kwamna or Mr. Smooth, and you can have some of these things that we are doing there as well. Just go there, subscribe, ring the bell. When there's a new video, you'll be informed so you can watch. And mostly it's from what we do here that we put out there. So, alright, so surgeries of the ovaries can also cause dryness. Surgeries of the ovaries can also cause dryness of the vagina. And then last one, I'm talking about certain immune disorders would also give you vaginal dryness. Now I'll pause here because our time is fast spent, and then we'll activate the phone lines immediately. The phone lines will be on the screen, and all you need to do is call, share your experience with us. If you have any questions on what I've spoken about, we can talk about it. Next week when we come, we would continue with vaginal dryness, and like I told you, there are so many things that we'll be talking about, so many things we'll be dealing with in the adults class.